So within, let's say, the United States, I would say there are, the most vulnerable. It's going to differ by what kind of risks we're talking about, but also locations. But in general, poor people are more vulnerable. They may have less resources they can call upon to prepare for, respond to, and clean up after a disaster, recover. So they might not have insurance, or they might not have as much insurance on both their health, their car, their home, their property, the things that they use to get through their life. They may not have as much savings. They may not be able to evacuate because they don't have a car, or they don't have a place to evacuate to, or the funds to spend when you evacuate. I lived in New Orleans for 10 years. When we got a hurricane warning, you realize after you evacuate one or two times that it's expensive to evacuate. And if you have animals or a larger family, it's where do you go? In terms of the world, the most vulnerable countries are seen in the UN negotiations on climate change as the least developed countries. So this is the 49 poorest countries in the world. It's also the small island developing states. And then the third group in the UN focus is Africa. Africa faces such high levels of drought. So much of it is semi-arid and poor, has poor infrastructure, not a high level of number of medics and nurses per population. So places that are sort of understaffed in terms of their social services, also have weak infrastructure, don't have great communications and so on. Those are places where what would be a manageable disaster somewhere else become almost unmanageable